Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the CCFS Counsel and Encouragement Expedition podcast series. I'm Edward Ruiz, your host here in the month of May, where every day in May, I'm doing a daily 2 to 3 minute word of counsel and encouragement for your edification and building up of the faith. And as I promised yesterday, I'm going to spend the rest of May talking about suffering. And I want to kick us off today with a quote from Voddie Baucham, who is an excellent preacher and man of God. And he has a church in Africa that he leads and a school that he trains other Christian leaders in going into the ministry. He had preached a sermon on Proverbs back in November of last year, and I just happened to pick it up in February of this year, and then there was a line that he said in there that I want to focus on today, and I had written it out on my whiteboard in my kitchen. I'm going to put it on the screen here in a second. But the line is this, and here we go as we dive in. Sometimes God's blessing in our life includes Him entrusting us with suffering. Now, I wonder if that's coming in left field and hitting you hard, so I want to say it again because that's just really deep. Sometimes God's blessing in our life includes Him entrusting us with suffering. Now, when I first heard that, I will admit that kind of came out of left field for me. It hit me like a ton of bricks to think for a second that God's actually entrusting me with suffering. That suffering isn't something that it's not just something that I respond to. It's not just something that just happens out of nowhere. And yes, I've always kind of tended to understand and believe God's a sovereign over my suffering and my difficulty and hardship, that it's part of a plan in His life. But to make it more personal, He's actually entrusting us with suffering. And so I think Voddie is on to something here, that sometimes God's blessing in our life is that He would entrust us with suffering. And I'm going to actually dive in a little bit deeper on this topic tomorrow. We're going to go right into 2 Corinthians 4. You might be familiar with where I'm going with this already. But for the Christian, and for the Christian who believes in the sovereignty of God and that God's in charge and ruling over everything and that nothing is an accident, this makes sense. This resonates, and if it does for you, or if you have a question about this, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can, as best as I can. So please stay tuned in tomorrow as we look into 2 Corinthians 4 and day 21. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, real quickly, thank you so much for visiting. If you want to learn more about CCFS, please visit my website at ccfamilyservices.com. There you'll learn about the mission and vision of CCFS, or you'll find out there's podcasts, articles, and blogs and content that I make available to you in case you're interested in that. If you want to learn more about counseling services, my contact information is there at the bottom of the webpage as well, or maybe you know somebody who may benefit from some counseling, please forward along. Thank you so much for visiting today, and I look forward to connecting with you. Until next time, take care.